For determination of total cost of production, a statement showing the various elements of cost is prepared. This statement is known as statement of cost or cost sheet. Cost sheet is a statement which provides for the assembly of detailed cost of a cost center or cost unit. It is a statement showing details of the total cost of job, operation, or order. Let us see which are the features of cost sheet. Cost sheet relate to a particular product or service. For a particular product or service, there is a separate cost sheet. Second thing is that cost sheet relate to cost incurred during a particular period. Cost is calculated for a particular period. It may be a day, a month, year, or whatever period it may be. Then it may show total cost as well as per unit cost. Now, total cost and per unit cost are two different terms. Whenever we prepare 1000 units and incur 1 lakh rupees, what happens is that 1 lakh divided by 1000, it arrives at rupee 100 as per unit cost. In this way, cost sheet can show total cost as well as per unit cost. Then cost sheet may be based on actual data or estimated data. Usually cost sheet is prepared for whatever cost we have incurred. So it is based on actual data. Sometimes in case of tenders or quotations or some future work, we make estimates. That time it is based on estimated data. After features, we go towards the objective or purposes behind preparation of cost sheet. First objective is that it gives the breakup of total cost under different elements. Now, whatever is the total cost is divided among the different elements like prime cost, works cost, cost of production, etc. Now, what is prime cost? Whenever we take direct material, direct wages and direct overheads, together we get prime cost. When we add factory overheads to the prime cost, we get works cost. When we add office administrative overheads to cost of production, that time we get. Then to the cost of production we add selling and distribution overheads, we get total cost. In this way, different elements of cost, breakup of cost is shown by cost sheet. Then cost sheet shows total as well as per unit cost. As I said in features of cost sheet, both total cost and per unit cost is shown by cost sheet. It helps comparison with previous years. Now, if we have 2 or 3 years cost sheet, we can compare a particular item in the cost sheet, say direct material, how much we used last year, how much previous to last year, how much this year. This way we can compare. Then it facilitates preparation of tenders or quotation. For preparation of some tenders and quotations for different contracts, we have to prepare cost sheets. Then it enables management to fix up selling price. As we know what is prime cost, what is factory cost, what is cost of production, what is total cost, and how much profit element we want. By adding all these things, we can determine our selling price. It also controls cost. Now, what is controlling cost? Controlling cost is keeping check on the cost, and it is possible only when we know that on each and every element how much cost we incur, and this we get from cost sheet. After taking a short review of what is meant by cost sheet, which are the features of cost sheet, and which are the objectives behind preparation of cost sheet, we are going towards the actual pro forma of cost sheet. Now, when we see the pro forma of cost sheet, what is there? In the pro forma of cost sheet, first of all, we are having direct material, direct wages and direct expenses. These three things taking together, we get prime cost. Now what is direct material? The material used in the preparation of product directly, which are the main ingredients of the product or service produced, they are known as direct materials. Now when we say direct material in cost sheet, which items appears in it? They are opening stock of raw material, purchase from local suppliers, imported materials, freight on materials, carriage on materials, insurance on materials, dock charges, then import duty, loading and unloading charges, raw materials returned from other departments, octroi, and material used in primary packing. After taking together these items, some items we have to deduct, like closing stock of raw material, material returned to suppliers, material transferred to other department, abnormal loss of material, duty drawback, etc. After taking review of direct materials, we will see direct wages, which is also known as direct labor. These are the wages of productive workers. So it includes wages to productive workers paid as well as unpaid, that is payable. Then allowances and bonuses to productive workers. Also it includes cost of amenities to productive workers. Then indirect expenses, such expenses are included which are neither direct material nor direct wages, but these minor items are directly related with production process. They include cost of patents, cost of drawing, design and layouts, consultant fees, license fees for special orders, subcontracting expenses, higher charges of equipment, operating and maintenance cost of special machine, etc. So these are the items from direct material, direct wages and direct expenses. By taking together these three, we get prime cost. Now factory overheads are added to the prime cost. Overhead means nothing but indirect expense. Now certain expenses are related with factory, which are also known as works overheads. Which are they? They include factory rent rate insurance, factory lighting, factory supervision, motive power, fuel and oil, grease and water, steam, consumable stores, normal idle time wages, cost of training workers, expenses on trial runs, drawing office salaries, welfare expense, laboratory expense, depreciation on plant and machinery, depreciation on office building, repairs and maintenance of factory, technical director's fees, haulage of machinery, cost of rectification, loose tools written off, materials handling charges, factory stationery, works clearing staff, salary, supervisor's salary, storekeeper's salary, service department expense, factory cleaning, etc. Then we have to deduct scrap sales from it. Now what is mean by scrap sales? Whenever certain product we produced is defective, which cannot be sold as final product or finished product, that is scrap, and which is sold at some less value in the market, that amount should be deducted from these factory overheads. Now opening stock of work in progress is added and closing stock of work in progress is deducted in order to arrive at works cost or factory cost. Now what is mean by work in progress? Work in progress is nothing but semi-finished product. It is neither raw material nor finished product. Some processing is done and some processing yet to be done on that product, which is called semi-finished product, that is work in progress. Then after getting factory cost or works cost, we have to add office and administrative overheads in it, to arrive at cost of production. Now, these office and administrative overheads are nothing but normal office charges related with office of that particular organization related with this particular product preparation. Now, which are they? Office rent rate taxes, staff salaries, counting house salaries, office lighting, office cleaning, printing and stationery, postage and telegram, office conveyance, depreciation of office building and furniture, office equipment, loss of profit insurance, office repairs, director's fees, sundry expenses, perks to office staff, general expenses, legal charges, audit fees, etc. When we add these expenses to factory or work cost, we get cost of production. Now, cost of production is the actual cost of producing that particular product. Now, what we have to do is to add opening stock of finished good in it and deduct closing stock of finished good from it. Whenever last production process, last year's, last month's stock is there, it should be added, and whatever stock we keep in the godown only, we are not taking for sale, that should be deducted. Now, this addition of opening stock of finished good and closing stock of finished good is also important. Then we get cost of finished goods sold. Now, this cost of finished goods sold should be added with selling and distribution overheads in order to arrive at total cost. Now, which are the selling and distribution expenses? It includes advertisement, showroom expenses, traveling expenses, commission on sales, sales salaries, discount allowed, final packing and forwarding expenses, fancy packing, cost of printing price list, exhibitions and fairs, entertainment expense of sales staff, bad debt, sample and gift, service expense, demonstration expense, market resource expense, loading charges, carriage on sale, rent of warehouse, insurance and lighting of warehouse, expense of delivery van, salaries of packing department, collection charges, branch office expense, cost of catalog, cost of mailing literature, cost of tenders, etc. By adding these selling and distribution expenses to cost of finished goods sold, we get what is known as total cost. When we add the element of profit in total cost, we get selling price. Now we can calculate for per unit as well as for total production this cost. Now, cost sheet as we prepared shows us breakup of cost in prime cost, works cost, cost of production, cost of goods sold, total cost, profit and sales, as well as it shows per unit and total cost of particular product. Thank you.